For the latest, south side or the north side, not tuned to the greatest. Home team for the home teams, both sides got our own rings. On the mound or the long ball, but we don't put the wrong strings, yeah. It's that time of the year now, Wrigley or guarantee, so the whole league that we hear now. New show with a new mood, discussions and interviews, straight rumors that might be. This is Pinwheels and Knife. Yeah.
What's going on, everybody? Yes, before we get 15 fucking comments, we know we're late. I get it. It's all right. It's going to be okay. You know it's worth it. You know you love us. Go ahead, Kevin.
It's the key. Always keep a line. It's the rule of Las Vegas. We open at 6:15, even though it's supposed to be 6. That's all. We were all waiting with bated breath.
Yeah, so that's it. So here we are. Yeah, dog. Yeah, dog. We're here, buddy. Hey, there's your buddy Aldo.
I'm gonna do a wave every opening of the show. That's just gonna be just for you.
That's like when NBA players do like the things at the free throw lines for their kids. Aldo's gonna do the yeah dog wave before every episode. All right, tweets have been retweeted. Viewers are piling in. Wow, this is actually a pretty good start to the show, viewer count wise. Make sure you're subscribing on YouTube. Well, you know what? Why don't we just make it official? Ready? 3, 2. Although I feel like the camera's getting closer to your face as the show goes on. Ready? I'm not saying it's bad. You're a very handsome man. Ready?
For you guys, I like to get a better look.
3, 2, 1. What's going on, everybody? It is Thursday, August 26th, and you have found the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast. I am your host, Matt Swaski, a.k.a. Southside Zoe, a.k.a. Father Zoe. And with me, as always, Yeah Dog's best friend, Mr. Aldo Soto.
You see what's happening with the Cubs, though? Cubs are hot. Kind of.
Yeah.
They've only lost one time in the past, 3 days. Improvement. That is an improvement. And the man patiently waiting over there did not get burnt to a crisp in his 4-hour, 9-hole round of golf today in the Vegas heat. Mr. K. Fitz. What's up, Fitz?
I feel like what would happen if SpongeBob was left on the top of your car for 4 straight days in the sun without any kind of liquid whatsoever. I am dry to the bone right now, but unfortunately the Cubs' modest winning streak did come to an end. But that only means they can start a new streak.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, I mean, hey.
Ian Happ just hit a game-tying 3-run home run.
So.
The morale.
Oh, no. The blend is strong or whatever. Never going to leave or whatever.
That's what I'm telling you. Yeah. Guys, the Cubs are hot.
Who are they playing? The Rockies?
The Rockies.
There's nobody at Wrigley Field, by the way.
There's no one.
Dude, it's monsoon in Chicago.
It looks like the pandemic. It looks like the 2021 or 2020 season right now. Though.
It is monsoon season in Chicago today, at least on the south side.
Cub fans keep picking attendance jokes with the White Sox.
Yeah.
Even though now there's enough video proof this year that there is no such thing as a attendance proof ball club because ain't none of you guys showing up either. So whoopsie. And coffee sucks.
So we got a lot to talk about. White Sox are in the. Well, now they're, thank God, towards the end of this brutal run against.
You guys are lucky. You guys get to face the Cubs.
Good teams. I'm going to tell everybody your comment earlier because that had me fucking in tears laughing in our chat earlier today. But we're going to go over the White Sox. Went through a little bit of a dry spell. Seemed like they're coming out of it just a little bit. The game's live right now because we record live on Wednesday nights, and you can join in on the fun on YouTube. Subscribe to the page. Leave a like. Get in the comment section, talk to other people watching the show or on Facebook or on Twitter, however you want to do it. I do have the game on, so if something cool happens, I will be talking about it just because we're not professional. And
tight game.
Tight game. We got a lot to talk about, though. White Sox offensive struggles. I do want to talk about Tony LaRussa yelling at Sebi Zavala, and apparently the TV crews in Toronto are obsessed with LaRussa, so it was on camera. And for some reason, that became a big deal with people.
Hey, man, Tony moves the needle.
He does. I guess his needle hasn't moved in years, but there is let's. And then we'll talk about the Cubs and the hot team in the NL Central.
They're going for the sweeps, though.
I know Trevor's story. Oh, they got that Rogers kid. I can't think of another player on the Rockies.
Blackman, everyone, White Sox favorite.
Oh yeah, he's still
trade
there.
Piece.
If he didn't cost $200 million. Yeah. So I guess we'll start with the White Sox, like we always do, because that's the team going to the playoffs. Oh, thanks, Frank.
False, Frank. I know. Come on.
That
Frank.
is just not true, Frank. Hold on, I'm pulling it up here because we're all about facts on this show.
We're gonna prove to you that the Sox indeed not suck.
Lately, they kind of sucked. So it's,
come on, no, don't give in. Don't
It's
give in
somewhat
so
warranted.
easy.
So we've been saying for weeks leading up to it, like this is a huge stretch of games that the White Sox are about to enter here, and it's kind of not really a litmus test because they're not 100% healthy, but interesting. And let's just say the White Sox picked a really weird time to just completely turtle on the offensive side of things. So we had the Yankee series. We all know the Field of Dreams game went awesome, and then they dropped 2 really close games to the Yankees. And then Oakland came to town. They won 3 out of 4 from Oakland, and that was a great series for the White Sox. Great series for the White Sox. 5-2, 9-0, 3-2, and then they lost 5-4. Good offensive. And the A's are by all means could be a wild card team. They're a good baseball team, and so they did really well. But then the Sox went to Tampa Bay, and to steal a meatball old head joke, they must have left their bats in Chicago because.
I mean, I couldn't use this one. But
Thank you. I almost Costanza after that joke. Just left. Oh, there he is.
Oh, shit.
While you read that novel, I'm going to recap the Tampa series. So they won the first game at Tampa Bay in 11 innings.
That's right. I don't think there's a problem here. I don't think
either.
I ever said that you had to follow me back.
Oh no, you don't have to follow him back.
Yeah, I don't think I ever. Yeah.
So
We're on the same page here, yeah.
just a communication error.
we show class in all things, so you should be a graceful winner and make sure you do follow the blue check mark because the algorithm doesn't work if you're not following the blue check mark.
You gotta. It's like bus. What do they call it? Roll off punana. Like the guys that hang out with the superstar get all like the superstar gets the 11, and then his crew gets like the 7s and 8s that hangs around with the 11.
I like to call it the turtle from Entourage.
Exactly. You literally just said the same thing I did.
Yep.
Back to the Tampa Bay series. They won the first game in Tampa, 7-5 in 11 innings. Lost 8-4, then 9-0. That game on Sunday was atrocious. Just absolutely one of the worst games about the Sox games this season. Monday they lose to Toronto 2-1 in a stupid ass wild pitch from Kimbrel. And that was a wild
catch the ball. So I'm just kidding. That was a wild.
I was gonna. Unless he's fucking Stretch Armstrong, he's not.
I have to say, I went back to see that because obviously everybody was freaking out. Kimbrel sucks again. The pitch before that should have been strike 3 as well. Mm-hmm. That the home plate umpire called like a foul tip or something. And I think Kevin, I think you completely missed it because there was another situation where everyone on the field forgot the rules again. So there was a runner at first, 1 out.
Yeah,
there was a wild pitch strike 3. The catcher or Sevi Zavala or Bo Bichette strikes out swinging. He runs to first base when there's already a runner at first base. Occupied. He's automatically out. The runner could advance, but you can't do anything. But the home plate umpire calls it like a foul tip or whatever. He's like, all right, get back in the box. Happens again, and then it's another wild pitch, and the same thing happens again. No one knew the rules. The home plate umpire didn't even like call him out on strikes. He was waiting for the throw too. I was like, what the hell is home? Yeah. This is the year where everyone just forgot the rules.
Yep. Fid, you with us? You alive?
Yeah, I know. I just got some really good news from something. So I'm kind of right now. I'm actually doing a dance inside right now. So sorry about that.
It's Brian back to the Cubs.
Somebody's getting pizza rolls for dinner.
could celebrate with pizza rolls. Actually, now.
We have to clip this. We have to put like a bubble thought for Kevin while
actually, if you're watching us live right now in the comment section,
I'm sure sure that Beer Garden Jim will put a penis somewhere there, or at least a purple vibrator. It'll be there.
If you're watching us live on Wednesday night in the comment section, put what news Kevin just heard. Keep it civilized,
keep it
but not
PG-13.
really.
Keep it PG-13.
None of it would matter to me though, because the news that I got seriously just made my day, and there's nothing.
So put what you think the news was that just completely spaced Kevin out in the comment section, and we'll read the funny ones. But yes, everybody forgot the rules. Gordon Beckham, who this is going to be an extremely unpopular take, don't mind him in the booth. Actually, he's no Steve Stone. Oh, Jesus, Nathan. He's no Steve Stone. I knew that people were going to come out firing. He's no Steve Stone. But, yeah, man. I mean, he's been good. I enjoy his insights. I enjoy when he gets caught up in a moment and he acts like he's still in the dugout. Like on that play that Aldo just described, he's sitting there going like, why are you running? Why are you running? And he's like screaming into Benetti's like, dude, don't yell into your mic.
Gordon Beckham's like, what if one of us was doing the game?
Yes, exactly. Exactly.
It's like, you know what? I'm not, there's like a hint of Hawk in there.
A little
like a hint. Because it's like the accent, the accent, the random stories.
Yeah. No, I get it. I think that's warranted. I don't mind it. I mean, it's good in small doses. I couldn't do a whole season of it. But I think one of the reasons
Steve Stone's not getting any younger, so
Frank Thomas did good in the booth though. They got a lot of people lined up. I mean, if Stone decides to hang him up, Stone's going to be back on Friday night for the Cubs series, but like this is the way I look at it. I think Jason Benetti's so good at his job that it'd be tough to put someone in the booth with him that he doesn't make good.
Yeah, I mean, he was with Bill Walton.
And that was one of the most entertaining baseball games I've ever watched. Start the parade. All right. Well, when Kevin comes back to Earth, I want to hear his thoughts on this. There was a play in Toronto where I think it was Vladdy Jr. was up 3-0, and they basically threw him a pitch right down the dick, and he hit a double for an RBI. And when the Sox came out that inning, for some weird reason, and Jason Benetti actually pointed it out on the broadcast, for some weird reason, whoa, lightning bolt just hit across the street from me. For some weird reason, the Toronto media keeps like doing these weird camera angles where they just keep going to Tony. Like he's just standing there. Somebody tweeted out, Tony looks like his feet always hurt, which I thought was hilarious. But anyways, they keep going to Tony.
It was that run he made for Brady. He hasn't recovered.
And that's hilarious. But Tony just got in Selby's face, and it was totally about the pitch call. You can read his lips and his body motion and all this stuff. Like, but I'm not trying to be like this whole like old man yelling at a cloud, like this generation soft. But the reaction on Twitter mainly that I saw from that, I've never been more aware of how much of a participation trophy era we live in. And it doesn't matter what level sports you play, your coach is going to yell at you if you fuck up. That's what coaches do. And
this patty cake, baby.
Right, especially at a professional level. Like I'd be more mad if Tony didn't do anything. You know, like if Tony was just like, "Oh, you fucked up, but okay, like cool." Like then he just doesn't care. This to me shows me a couple things. One, Tony cares. Two, I don't think Tony would put that much effort into a player if he didn't see something in said player. I think he's trying to get the best out of Sebi. I think Sebi's going to be a better player because of it. And, you know, this whole like the way that it was received by, and you're absolutely right, Nathan, in the comments, you know, we're in a day and age where false outrage is huge and Twitter voices are usually the loudest. And you're absolutely right. And I tell this to Kevin all the time, and I got to take my own advice sometimes. Just because there's 4 or 5 people screaming doesn't mean the masses feel that way. But it was just wild to me that this even became an issue. Like, this was even a discussion that needed to be had, that like the audacity of a coach to yell at a player. They're both grown-ass men. The guy fucked up. The guy that you're brought in to tell him he fucked up and fix it was doing just what you asked him to do. And again, I think he sees something in Sebi, and he's trying to get the best player out of him. Now, Kevin, as a coach, you with me, or am I?
Bro, I feel like I feel like late age Jimmy Stewart, the amount of head shakes that was going over here. I'm like, yeah, I'm agreeing with 100% of you. I think, we can address both right now. First off, I want to address the second thing you said, which is when you're a coach and you are focused or hyper-focused on an individual, generally that's because you actually give a shit about that individual. It's the kid. When you're the guy that nobody, if Tony LaRussa is ignoring you, you're dead. It's over. You're done. He's done.
Collins. Oh, man.
Do we have some breaking news later, though?
Yes, we do.
We got to push that button. But you have a guy like if he's going to get into somebody's face, it shows Tony LaRussa. And look, we talked about this last week. Tony LaRussa is starting to up the intensity and the energy level. It started with busting his ass out there in the greatest possible T-shirt video picture ever, with him sprinting out to go get in a player's face for throwing at his guy. Mm-hmm. And it's only ramped up since then, and it's going to continue to ramp up, and it's going to continue to add intensity because this guy knows what it takes to win a World Series, multiple World Series, and he understands that finishing the season on your toes is far better than finishing the season on your heels. And he's going to dig in, and he's going to push buttons, and he's going to get in dude's face now because it's too late in the season to be making these kind of mistakes. At this point, you want a guy in there. He's the guy you pardon my language using a few good men line. You want LaRussa on that wall. You need LaRussa on that wall. And you have LaRussa on that wall. Now he's going to go in there. He gets in CB's face. You know what? Because CB made a mistake. These are big boys. But if he didn't do that, I would think that he was done with CB, but he's not. And when you have everybody on Twitter, again, this is I'm not going to call it the trophy generation. This is people that just are diametrically going to find some reason to bitch about Tony LaRussa. It's more Tony LaRussa derangement syndrome than it is I wouldn't blame that, because I coach tons of intense kids that the minute something happens, they're ready to get in somebody's face and go after it too, and they can handle it. They're not soft as Charmin. I've lit into plenty of kids in my lifetime as a coach, and they can handle it. Okay, they're resilient, and now these are grown men, and grown men handle it differently than soft children on Twitter. And that's the big part of this. He got in his face because there was a mistake, and there's no excuses for these types of mistakes in a championship team, and he know that. Do you think he's going to make the same mistake again? Hell no. And if he does, he grabs some pine. But guess what? He got through to him because, again, it's a mistake that you learn from. We know that 3-0 counts are no longer gimmies in the league. It's a stupid waste pitch. If you're throwing a fastball down the cock 3-0 now, you're a damn moron. Okay, and if you're yelling at someone,
if you're a superstar like Vlad Jr. or Zach Collins, apparently everyone has 3-0 green lights.
Absolutely right, and everybody. I mean, German's thing was different and people say, well, but German was given a sign to take a pitch for a reason. It's early in the season. Very different situation. But 3-0 green lights. I mean, KB hit a 3-0 double with the Cubs still off the wall. He got shit on by Jason Hayward in the locker room. Why? He was given the green light, hits a double off the wall, drives in a run. Gets yelled at because there are some guys or some people that believe that a 3-0 count is sanctimonious for some reason. It's not a free pitch. It's not a gimme. If you're not coming out of your shoes on a 3-0 fastball down the middle, we have problems. And so he wanted to get through to him on that. He got through to him on that. The problem is, people are like, well, he did it in public. He didn't do it in public. He did it in the dugout, which is the inner sanctum of a baseball team. Do you think that he has time to walk his ass down to the clubhouse to talk privately with every guy that makes a mistake? You're an idiot if you think that. He doesn't have the steps in his day on his little pedometer, and we'll be here all night. He has to handle it the minute he comes in. It's hot. It's fresh. You get into him, and you know what? I guarantee you he built him up back in the clubhouse. The stuff you don't see are the hugs and probably the admiration that he shows him elsewhere. You build guys up after you tear them down. That's what you do. And this is why people don't understand what Tony LaRussa does well, because they don't know what championship baseball looks like. Sorry about that. Not his fault. You're seeing it now. He's going to keep pushing and pushing and pushing. And everybody is now on notice. Bust your ass 100%, or you can grab a pipe, or you can deal with Tony, and nobody wants to deal with hot head.
Actually, a real interesting point. Yeah, I'm going to cut you off so you breathe. It's like when I got to take the bottle away from my kid so he breathes.
Or the food away
or the bush away from you, Zo.
Yeah, true. Bush light. I'm watching my figure.
Okay.
Latte.
A very interesting point, though, that you made there towards the end was this is championship baseball. Some people in White Sox fandom have never seen this before. You know what I mean? Like, literally, the White Sox haven't had a team with championship. I want to walk through a cardboard wall. With championship, aspirations like this White Sox team. I mean, shit, in years, like almost decades. And some people just don't know how to. And it does. It shows, especially now with Twitter being what it is and everything, and everyone has instant reactions. Like, the White Sox lose a game 9-0 in Tampa, and granted, it was a terrible game. Some of the reactions are like, this team fucking blows. They're going to get swept in the first round. And it's just like, guys, let's take a breath. Like, I understand you're angry, but, and I'm not telling people how to tweet. I'm not telling people how to be a fan. I'm just saying it might be a little bit more enjoyable.
I think, too, a lot of it, and everyone's pissed about Tim Anderson sitting. He's being extra cautious. We talked about this, I think, last week, too. Or maybe it was 2 weeks ago. The stretch run that was coming was against teams that they might see in the playoffs. A perfect time for Rodon to go take a 10-day IL. A perfect time to start doing lineups that you're not going to see. You don't want to overexpose yourself. And Tony LaRussa has underexposed his team. You don't have everyday guys playing every day right now. You're not giving them. You're not showing them the entire arsenal. That's going to benefit the White Sox come playoff time because they're going to be more of an enigma than they would be if they were going after these guys in an August series that really is. Obviously you want home field advantage if you can get it, but not at the expense of giving up, some of your secrets and showing your cards too soon and overexposing your players to more tape. I think it's working out well. And like we said, they're going to ramp up the final 3 weeks of the season. They're going to push down the stretch. That's the stretch that matters. This stuff right now, get comfortable, get healthy, get sharp, teach the game to guys. Again, if CB's going to be the guy in the postseason, he's going to have to know these things. He should not have to be taught these things at that point. So the teaching is going on constantly with especially the younger guys. It's valuable, it's important, and it's necessary for this team to make an actual run in the postseason. Again, you go in on your toes. You don't want to go in backing in or on your heels. And he's going to make sure that they're pushing forward, not leaning back through a cornfield naked in the heat. Whatever. That run back never was an old analogy. But whatever. He's not going to make sure.
No, I got you.
You're going to take one in the end. He's going to make sure you're blowing through somebody.
And that's agreed. And I know people want the best 9 out there, all 100, but injuries happen. This is the first season where these guys, remember, they only played 60 games last year. Like, their bodies are in positions where they've never been before. If TA needs a couple days off, give him a fucking couple days off. I want this team healthy and ready to go for the playoffs. That's all I give a shit about right now. They got the division. Division's won. So the people that tweet like, oh, Cleveland's coming up on us, fuck yourself. Like, if you're not doing that ironically to be funny, like, I don't know what to do. I can't help you. But so speaking of health though and everything, the news came out on Wednesday that he had another one.
No, just earlier today.
Carlos Rodon's going to make his next scheduled start, which is probably going to be Thursday night in the finale against Toronto. Great news. He's been saying the last couple of days he feels great, which is awesome. Wild that 10-day stint actually worked, and they didn't die. They didn't lose the division lead while he was gone. So kudos to them for that.
Their 27-game lead.
Yeah, right. It's wild. And then the other news is Grandal's return is imminent. Now, we said last week that birdies were the Twitter birdies were saying, that they heard from a guy who knows a guy that washes a guy's car that Grandal will be back Friday night for the opener versus the Cubs. It's looking like that's going to be true, but I mentioned the three of us have a chat that's ongoing day, night with Fids. That's like 4 a.m. sometimes. But
West Coast time, give him a break.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. It's only 2:00 over here.
But
or was it 6 a.m. your time? I'm not sure.
And Nathan, hold on. I'm going to finish my thought, Nathan, but I definitely want to get to this comment because this is something we need to talk about. This is Friday night has the potential to be the first time the White Sox have their full healthy lineup, which is absolutely wild when you think about it. You know, we're late August, but Friday night is the first time I think we're going to see the White Sox playoff lineup. And although in response to that said, well, that's good because for Grandal, he'll still think he's in AAA because they're playing the Cubs, which that's fucking hilarious. I don't care who you are.
I have to look up the pitching matchups because I swear I think they're all AAA guys.
We have Friday night, we have Dallas Keuchel versus Thompson.
AAA.
Saturday night, we have the big homie Lance Lynn versus Mills.
Okay. He's been
and then Sunday night we have the absolute Mack truck fucking freight train known as Dylan Cease versus Kyle Hendricks.
Oh, okay. So it's not as bad as I thought.
No, it's not terrible. Sunday's a day game.
But the lineup, I was telling. I mean, when Kevin, you were like, the Cubs have the worst team in baseball right now. I was like, yeah, they do. Legitimately more than half the roster are like guys who started the year in AAA or were unsigned.
I think they have like maybe the third best AAA roster right now.
And the thing is, I didn't realize the Cubs have been so bad, but I've been like kind of paying attention to baseball since the trade deadline. I did not realize that the Baltimore Orioles have lost 18 games in
19 now.
19 now? Okay, Wednesday was the 19th in a row.
They're pushing up on their own 1988 little side record that they started the season with 23 straight losses. They're
22 or 23. Yeah. Ridiculous.
Shout out to friend of the show.
Almost as bad as the Mets have been since the trade deadline.
Shout out to the big friend of the show, Brewhand Luke. Don't forget that Billy is back real soon.
Yeah,
and I
mean,
and you know what? All jokes aside, it's just going to be nice that they're going to actually have their actual playoff roster in place. All healthy, knock on wood.
You know what? I'm sorry. I laughed. Luke, I saw this stat earlier for Leury Garcia. Luke, look up the stat. What are the Sox record with Billy Hamilton and without?
Yep.
Let's see who the real game changer is.
Oh, yeah. So the Sox are sitting with a 10-game lead right now over Cleveland. And, old friend of ours here, Nathan, says, fans bring up 2005. The Indians almost caught the Sox. But that's different. That was a 93-win team. The Indians team is mediocre. And Savale and Bieber are weeks away. So all valid points there. Very good points. The other thing that I'm going to ask, and Adam Engel's coming back too. See, the Sox team isn't even 100% near 100% yet. And we're looking good. We're looking good. And we got to actually start talking about what we think the playoff roster is going to look like because now it's going to get a little interesting with that.
Well, no offense to anyone, but I mean, when you have Garcia, who needs Adam Engel? We've seen the numbers. Numbers don't lie, though.
I mean, when the team holds a 73-54 record overall, and you've played in 98% of the games because the manager is forcing you in the lineup every game,
he's a winner.
Stats like that is going to happen.
Yes, TW.
Oh, he definitely has TW. Hawk is definitely loving the TW on that. But my ask for the people that listen to this show, the people that are watching right now, White Sox fans, it's 2021. The game is very different than what it was in 2005. Rules are different. Players are different. It's different. So consistently comparing any White Sox team to 2005 is just bad form, in my opinion. That 2005 team had a pitching staff that was an absolute fucking freight train. Like, historically good starting four. And they only lost one game in the playoffs. And it was just complete game after complete game after complete game. I don't think we ever see that again.
No.
And no. I don't think you're doing
hold on.
I mean,
he's the manager.
Oh, it's true. But here's the funny thing, too, by the way. A lot of things change The game has changed. I mean, when the White Sox last were, winning a World Series, Feel Good Inc. was released. Lifehouse was still being listened to. The Black Eyed Peas were a thing. Fall Out Boy was still rocking, which they still are. But Photograph came out. Look at his photograph.
Mhm.
Okay, that's how long it's been since the White Sox had a team this good, and the game has changed. It's different. It's not. You're not going to win it the same way you did then, and you're not going to listen to Nickelback the same way you did then. It's just a given.
Yeah, I
Wait, we don't listen to Nickelback at all. In fact, my bad about that.
Breaking news: Cubs just tied the Rockies.
Because Trevor Story, future Cub, is already helping the squad by gunning.
It was so funny seeing those two stories yesterday, Kevin. The one in the morning about Trevor Story was like, "Well, if the Cubs come calling, I'll listen." And then like later the night, it was like, "Well, the Cubs might not actually like spend any money."
the one from it was the Athletic.
Yeah,
the Athletic serious because what's his name is really good.
Yes, Sharpie, he's on it.
And he had that where the next year, we'll talk about that in a second, where the Cubs are they're gonna do the free agent fire sale thing one more season.
That was a pretty funny series of tweets, but yeah, to put a ribbon on that, maybe just stop comparing every White Sox team to 2000.
You know what? So I was about to do the opposite. I wanted to do let's go position by position. Who would you rather have?
I mean, I'm
Abreu or Canerco.
I'm game for content.
Tadahito, Gucci, Uribe or no, I guess it'd be Uribe or TA.
Yeah,
who's at second base for you guys
right now?
Caesar? No, in
05. Uribe. Creedy was at third.
Who's at shortstop then?
Oh, I'm sorry. Uribe was at short.
Tadahito Gucci was the second.
Yeah, Tadahito Gucci.
By the way, I don't want to say it because I mean the White Sox been like they've been fine. Obviously, they've had like a couple of rough patches where like the offense just kind of disappears. But Tim Anderson like hasn't played for a bit here in Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
Cesar Hernandez has been awful.
He's been terrible.
He had that home run against the Cubs. He had the first couple of games against Cleveland.
And Cesar gets a little bit of a leash because of his glove. His glove's been good, consistent. Mm-hmm. He's a very good second baseman where there's not too much worry there. He got a hit tonight, Wednesday night, but it's not been good. And I'm very happy to see on Wednesday night in the lineup, they moved him down to the 8th spot, I believe. That's where he needs to live. He needs to live in that 8-9.
Away from the top of the order.
Yeah, he needs to live in that 8-9 spot. I've been saying, dude, on Friday night, the lineup I roll out is T.A. Mankata, Abreu Aloy, probably Grandal, Robert, Vaughn, whoever the hell's playing right field, and then Caesar. Yeah,
no, I have the numbers heading into Wednesday's game for August. He's slashing 182, 289 with a 260 slug.
Yeah, I mean, no, and it's been a little upsetting because you watch his like a plate approach and like there's at bats that he looks like he doesn't give a shit, and that drives me nuts with players. Like, I don't know, I don't know him. I haven't watched him enough to know like his mannerisms or like his career, but like, yeah, it's a little brutal, but
not pretty.
That's a good ass lineup though. If you think about that,
yeah.
I mean, that lineup is sick, dude. And so you get that rolling, and then you also get, Dylan Cease has been unbelievable since the All-Star break.
My guy has been so good. Although, well, so Cease especially. Like, so you turned me on to what was it? Gio's bad in the daytime.
Yeah, but he's been good since the All-Star break.
But
too.
Actually not.
His splits. But actually not. Yeah.
So there's that, and then Cease was apparently bad. What on the road?
No, Cease was bad according to people.
I'm trying to remember.
Cease is bad. No, Cease is bad against anybody that's good. Like he was labeled a bump slayer for a long time, and then he came out and just rolled through the fucking Blue Jays, who come into Wednesday night's game with a run differential of plus 114, and he rolled through that lineup like a hot knife through butter. His stuff was nasty too.
Isn't it weird how these narratives form though, and then it happens
right.
the opposite of that, and it's almost like, oh, I'm the one that's been saying that he can't beat good teams. He just beat good teams. I didn't see anything.
Right. No, it's
Speaking of Cease and narratives, has there been any talk of, if he keeps this up heading into the playoffs?
He's your fourth starter.
Is he? Oh, I was going to say, is he game 2 starter? People have been throwing that out. I've seen that.
I wouldn't hate it because then you go Lance Lynn or who you go Rodon or Lynn. I don't know.
Giolito won?
No, I wouldn't start Giolito game 1. I'd start Lynn or Rodon, and then I wouldn't mind Cease.
I'll ask you this question, Zoe, because this is the way. Like I thought of a situation right now that could happen, and it happened the other day. I could see like Lansing going out there, the adrenaline pumping, the command isn't all there. He's like at 100 pitches through like 4 to 3rd, and you have to take him out.
Raylo or Keuchel.
But then, like, what do you want? Like Giolito going like 7, just game 1.
Yeah, because that's true. But I don't really see that happening. Lance Lynn has got the most experience out of any of the pitchers.
It's true. It's true.
And
speaking of, oh, by the way,
breaking news. Thus far, Yumper has the lead in fantastic. What am I thinking? Yeah, his says, "Did I just shit my pants?" So that's a good one because I actually kind of did a little bit. I tinkle a little bit attached to it.
Hold on,
it's good.
But so that's what's interesting to me when you're setting your pitching rotation, because I think you either go Lance or Rodon with game 1, and then you go Cease, Giolito, and then the other one.
Wait, don't get me wrong. You guys have a great problem,
right?
We're trying to figure out like who's that guy in left field? He doesn't look familiar. He doesn't have a name on his jersey.
The other thing with the Sox that I've been wondering, and with that series against Tampa, and like looking ahead to the postseason, I know I've said for like the past couple weeks, you guys the division's fine. You're going to make it to the playoffs. However, and we've seen it this year, like it has been like actually, no, I'm not going to say that. I think that's just in my head. I don't know if it's true or not. But normally teams are a lot better at home. Mm-hmm. Now, baseball isn't like other sports where home field advantage. Like I don't think it matters all that.
It's mattered to the White Sox this year.
It's mad for the White Sox. I think right now they're the 3rd place team from the division leaders, right? Because I think Houston has more wins, and I think Tampa Bay has more wins. So, if there's any series right now, they're going to be starting on the road.
And they look lost in Tampa Bay. Like, I know I made the corny ass joke, but like they look lost.
Something about that fucking roof, man, because the couple guys had troubles just finding fly balls.
That stadium's a hunk of shit. Like,
stadium has to be so fun because like no one's there. You're like in a warehouse. They have the catwalks.
You can't look straight up because the ceiling's white. So you lose the ball in the ceiling every time. It's a brutal stadium. It absolutely is. And yeah, it's a tough place to play. Looks like Aaron Bummer is not having a great outing. Oh, how'd that get there?
Did it?
Well,
that was a special one for all the viewers. So tune in every Wednesday nights to our live stream.
Yeah. But yeah, no. Home field is going to be a big deal for the White Sox. And yes, you're absolutely right. Right now, with the playoff overview, the White Sox out of the division leaders, the White Sox have the worst out of the 3 division leaders. Yeah. They're chasing Houston by 2 wins right now. I wouldn't mind going down to the Houston's a beautiful ballpark, and that short porch and left could only help this White Sox team if they got a little bit of extra adrenaline pumping. But I'm just not a fan of the stadium in Toronto. It's a hunk of shit. It was a hunk of shit when I went down there. It's still, I don't understand. Tampa. What did I say?
Toronto.
Yeah.
Toronto's great though. Toronto's a great place to go on your honeymoon, to consummate your relationship. Because I can't think of a worse thing is to go on a honeymoon and not have sex on your honeymoon. And you want to make sure you do that. And if you go to Toronto, you could actually do it and accidentally leave your drapes open. That's different. But
holy shit, I did not realize. I know that the Yankees had won. I think they won 11 in a row, 12 in a row, whatever it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Yankees are now 74-52. Holy shit!
Yeah, no, Yankees are rolling, man. They're getting hot at the right time. I like to say that they're burning a little too bright.
Might be peaking too early.
Exactly. Right now, they got a 2.5 game lead in the wild card. If the season ended today, it'd be the Yankees and the Red Sox, which that's not really fun. But
did it.
Actually, that would be a sick wild card game. Yankees Red Sox.
One
game.
One game. I don't know. I like Yankee. I would. I mean, I don't know. It doesn't feel as heated as a rivalry lately, unless you, of course, you get Nick Totoro. But
no, I think it's still there.
No, it still has the juice.
Yeah,
if you get them for that, because especially I know MLB does a lot of things wrong, but I still do think the whole wild card game that's still fun. I think that just one game you get some you're gonna get a good pitching matchup. Shit gets intense because game managers are basically managing like it's game 7. So yeah, I think the wild card and Yankees Red Sox. It still gets.
That would be a sick. I'd watch that game. You know what I mean? And I'd probably bet it too. And it'd probably be Cole versus Sale.
Yeah. Oh.
You see what I'm saying? Like that's a good ass wild card game. And yeah, Aaron Bummer just fucking gave up a run in the 8th. Sox are losing 2-1.
Did he get out of it? Because I just saw Josh Nelson tweet that is the Aaron Bummer experience.
And Patrick Wisdom just tied up the Cubs game in the bottom of the 8th inning after they were down 9-8. He just tied it up.
An error, yeah. Trevor Story.
Tale of two cities.
Kevin, come on.
My bad. I'm an idiot. I thought that was the previous.
Put that picture up again, Kevin.
Yeah. Did he shit his pants? We're really nervous over here, but
it's possible.
Oh wait! Breaking news: Baltimore. They've tied it
a little bit.
Baltimore can break their losing streak.
Who are they playing?
The Angels.
Oh well, if you're gonna do it,
they have the bases loaded, nobody out in the 8th inning. Classic Angels.
Go Orioles, go! No, I want the break the record. Go for it.
Cubs 9-9. I'm glad I've been betting the Sox over a lot lately. I did not bet it today, thankfully. So
you could you know what, bet the Sox team over this weekend.
Yeah, oh yeah. No, the over will be pounded very hardly
especially you know what, because I like Keegan Thompson. He's like one of the AAA pitchers that's come up, and hopefully he can be something. But like they're still like these are still young guys who don't have that experience and like they don't have the command yet. And like they're throwing like 80 pitches in 3 innings and they're out of there in the 4th. So they're gonna get to the bad bullpen, and then you guys can just go to eat after that. You guys could like tee off on Trevor McGill and I don't know who the fuck else.
Breaking news as well. Jordan Wogu just robbed a dude on a sick catch. He probably had his entire shoulder above the left field fence. What a rob right there for the
Pelicans. You hear that, Zo? You know who that is?
No.
Jordan Wogu,
future stud for the Cubs. Again, we're back in the MILB clips here for Cubs.
All right.
Minor league baseball watching right now.
I'm going to tell you guys a lot of times when you're talking about it, I'm not very well versed in the Cubs farm system.
Kevin, you know what you do?
You can't tell the difference between who's on the Cubs anyway. Like Jordan Wogu. Oh yeah, he's probably the left fielder for the Cubs.
Kevin, we have to sneak in a fake name from like here until like next year. Just like, this guy did this, and
Jack Kerouac hit a double. It's fantastic.
Jack Kerouac.
Ernest Hemingway and left. That's really cool.
Bend over, pitch 5 innings.
I'm like, let me Google him real quick.
Richard
Speaking of Googling players, MLB Pipeline updated their Cubs top 30 prospects yesterday because Justin Steele graduated because he's pitched enough innings now where he's not considered a rookie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Or it was one of them. They got 2 names confused though. Because they put, instead of putting Justin Steele or Keegan Thompson, I still don't know who they're talking about. They put Riley Steele. And if you Google Riley Steele,
that's a porn star.
Riley Steele is indeed an adult film actress.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody, and our boy, Kevin, you brought him up earlier, Sadev Sharma from The Athletic, he's like, do not Google this name. Dude, on a work computer.
Yeah. Yoan Mankata just old-laid the shit out of a ball, so now there's bases loaded. Thank God TA was backing him up.
Can we talk about the Yoan Mankata hate and how he's on a 12-game hit streak?
I've never seen a guy get so much hate while he's in the middle of a 12-game hit streak.
Not only that, I think 12 games he's reached base at least 2 times.
And the funniest thing is just like the reasoning people had. I mean, there's White Sox Twitter, like some people just don't like him, whatever. I get that. But like if you go into like White Sox Facebook groups where older fans live, oh man, I mean they might as well just come out and just be like, I'm racist and this is why I don't like Yoan Mankata. And like some of the other stuff they say too is just like, maybe if you spent more time working on his swing instead of making them music videos and rompers and shit, he'd be hitting a little bit better. He's hitting 12 games in a row, bro.
I like Herb Lawrence every time Yoan gets a hit. It's like, man, does Yoan Mankata even care about baseball?
Yeah.
Or it's like, oh, why is he so lazy? Does he even care?
I mean, and you gotta imagine Herb Lawrence
still part 3
with the callers he gets for the score. Those are the people that are in Facebook groups. And so like Herb probably hears it all. And I give him and a lot of the guys at the score a lot of credit for being able to, you know, bite their tongue on a lot of shit because I mean
you can't curse in the air. That's
and hard. Jose Ruiz just walked in a run.
Hey. Oh, I mean it's Jose. I've learned one thing from White Sox games. When Jose Ruiz is in the game, you guys are down or you guys are about to be down.
or Tony just doesn't give a fuck. Like Tony's just
what was the score of this game? What happened, guys?
It was 1-1. They brought in Aaron Bummer and he started walking to people and giving up these little bloop shots and then Yoan Mankata olayed a ball to get the bases loaded, and then Ruiz walked the next guy, and it's bases loaded with 2 outs, and it's 3-1 Toronto in the bottom of the 8th.
I'm upset that none of these guys are Boba.
Yeah, no, Bo had a rough series against the Sox this go around. Dude, he swings so violently.
He does.
Every swing is just.
I mean, we saw it with the Javier Baez missing that changeup at like 50 feet. on Tuesday.
We need to put that picture up while we talk about it.
But like when we were talking about the Bo Bichette strikeout against Craig Kimbrell, he did it twice. Those were prime Javier Baez swings. I was like, holy shit. Bo Bichette, baby.
Every time you say that, Aldo, by the way, all I think is Boba Fett. Like Boba Fett. Like I hear Boba Fett and I think Boba Fett. Like whoa.
I mean, that would be for our Toronto viewers. Would you guys buy that shirt? A Boba Fett theme shirt?
Probably.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Hold on, I got the Javi swing. We're gonna break down this Javi.
That Javi swing was hilarious.
I only got the picture. I don't have the video.
By the way, Mets fans are already done with the Javi Baez experience. They don't have time for it, like Cub fans apparently do. Just today, I mean, today he got doubled up at second, forgetting how many outs there were again. High baseball IQ, Javi. It said Javi is
high.
Forgot how many outs there were on a routine fly ball. Gets doubled up at second, and then literally 2 outs later, of course, the Giants start and KB walks up and hits a game-leading home run. You couldn't have two different things.
Let's
this
talk
right
about
here
this.
is Javi Baez experience right here.
The ball is in like Joliet.
Is that just the picture or the video?
It's just a picture.
What we're not paying attention to besides the baseball is how calm this pigeon is over here next to the DraftKings Sportsbook. Right there on the grass. There's a pigeon hanging out on the grass, but the baseball looks like it's actually coming off his bat after he hit the baseball. That's how bad. For those of you
wondering how Ruiz got out of it, he got a ground ball, so it's 3-1 going into the 9th. But so this ball's in basically Joliet. Javi's in Chicago. And someone said he could have swung 3 times and still been early on this.
Bugs Bunny swing.
Yeah,
Bugs Bunny swing.
He could have Bugs Bunny swung that is all right. Although you go ahead and get the video.
Yeah, I'll put it in here.
We'll do a proper breakdown.
No, speaking of Baez and the Mets though, Baez obviously they're getting like the bad of Baez and very little of what makes him anything valuable. Very little of that, like his first game. That's the only home run he's hit. But at least the Mets can be like, all right, thanks, Javi. That was a waste of 2 months. Francisco Lindor.
Stuck there.
Francisco Lindor has like a 600 OP. I did not realize how bad.
Yeah, my fantasy team
all the time
who did not make the playoffs knows how bad Francisco Lindor has been.
All right, I'm putting in this video in.
So here's the funny thing too about again, Mets fans. This is the funny part about like the Javi experience, right? Mets fans the other day, yesterday, I think it was or 2 days ago, Javi had a really cool slide where he slid to the inside of the bag, and the tag was late because he slid to the inside of the bag. It was a good slide, and Mets fans are like, "Man, what the fuck's your point? Like, okay, they're not that easily entertained by one cool thing that doesn't.
It's surprising because the Mets have just had a lot of losing teams and just nothing to be excited about.
They want nothing to do with it. They're like, cool tag. I don't give a shit. That's a routine play. Let's go. What's going on? You're like, oh, you can't hit a ball. Oh, I feel like Mets.
Long's showing a lot of good stuff, and this change up here. Goodness. That's just not picking the ball up. That's right. Onto the hand.
He's legitimately
he's
someone in the left field bleachers right now. Like I have seen worse.
That was the funny.
I've seen worse swings from high school freshmen. I've seen worse swings from high school freshmen.
Listen to that again.
Sammy Long's showing a lot of good stuff, and this change up here. Goodness. That's just not picking the ball up. That's right. Onto the hand.
Look at his head. His head is in the dugout.
That's wow.
That's hilarious.
That's like when you're teaching a little kid how to swing a bat and they just grab it and just start swinging as hard as they fucking can.
Now, miraculously, he did walk on that at bat. So we give credit where credit due. That was his 17th walk of the 2021 campaign. His second walk as a Met. I mean, he's on great pace.
This is where I don't care because, as much as we shit on Javier Baez, and, go ahead. That's fine. Javier Baez still did a lot of good things with the Cubs. And I'm glad he did. But right now, things are not looking good for the Mets or Javier Baez.
Hold on. Play that one more time, Olo.
Sammy Long's showing a lot of good stuff, and this change up here. Goodness. That's just not picking the ball up. That's right. Onto the hand.
That guy nice breeze.
That guy wants $300 million.
I mean, I want $1 million.
That guy wants $300 million. All
right, so do you want $300 million?
Yes, I do want $300 million.
So, what?
Actually, I want $301 million.
But see, that's the other thing. It was like people are like, oh, what? Like, he's not going to get it. Who cares?
I know, but it's just it's funny to me that
it's funny because it's like you're not.
Somebody told him. Somebody told him. That's a good starting number.
Guys,
he saw what the Mets did with Lindor. He's like, hey, Mets. Huh?
Yeah.
Since the Javi Baez trade, when they were 3.5 games in first place, the New York Mets are 6-18.
It's all Javier Baez.
He hasn't played all those games, but he's been in that clubhouse. He has had front row seats now to a major league first place team epic meltdown in one season. I don't give a shit if it's his fault or not. He's mush. You know what? Worst case, he's mush. That's bad luck. That's bad juju. I don't know what's going on.
Just because you're my guy, I'll ask. And what are the Giants since Chris Bryant went to the Giants, Kevin?
I got to count real quick because they just beat the Mets again. So, that's going to be a tough one. Let me pull that up. That'll give me a second here because I didn't.
Speaking of guys who've been bad after the trade deadline,
look at the Yankees. They got Rizzo too. Upsies.
Yeah. Anthony Rizzo has like a 500. He's been worse than Cesar Hernandez. Yep. It's incredible.
He's a good clubhouse guy when he struggles. He doesn't take everybody else down with him.
Yep. I'm just glad he's.
I say that out loud. My bad. All right, so they're 1-0, 1-2, or 1-1.
He did a lot of that for those 3 years that they won.
Yeah, I mean,
again, things are great when teams are winning. Things go bad when teams are losing.
And things go completely under a microscope.
If the Sox were bad this year, we wouldn't be all, everybody loves Tony. So.
Yeah, this show would be completely different if both teams sucked.
Be very aggressive.
Trust me, we did it for 2 years.
Oh, no. You know what I was thinking about? Other years that the Cubs have been kind of good, but the Cubs and Sox just cannot be good at the same time. We've only had it, 2008, they both went to the playoffs. Mm-hmm. 2020, they both went to the playoffs that short season. But other than that,
16-16.
It's just only either Sox are good, Cubs are average or just bad. Cubs are really good, Sox are average or bad. Mm-hmm. We can't get anything synced up here.
By the way, the New York Giants, since the KB trade, the Giants are 17-6. Chris Bryant has 5 home runs in 20 games. His OPS is, I think, approaching upper 900s.
Before people start lighting it up in the comment section, a couple things. Yes, we're aware that the Giants are a better team than the Mets. Yes, we're aware that the schedules were vastly different. Yes, we're aware of everything that you're about to put in there. But the fact of the matter remains that we told you guys that we heard that Javi Baez is not a great locker room guy. And for him to go to, like Kevin said, to be on 2 first-place teams completely melting down.
What if I were to tell you that Javi Baez wasn't watching in-game replay, like he said he missed out on? What if I told you that instead of watching in-game replay, he was crushing McDonald's? What if I told you that?
I'd love for you to say it, Kevin, because I hate that you just dance around. Just say it. It's fine. Chris Bryant isn't on the team anymore. It doesn't matter. Say it.
I told you that he shows up late to work and misses meetings. I don't know.
Although he is saying it, let him go.
I said, what if? It's that
But
no
like you say, like, oh, what if? Like, say it. Be like, hey,
Captain Carter got the eject?
I know that Javier Baez like.
He's cruising, man. He needs to stop. God damn it.
We lost Aldo.
Yeah, and the White Sox probably lost this game too. Vaughn just hit into a double play.
Look, Javi at worst case is a mush. He's mush. At worst case, he's mush. He's bad luck. He's bad juju. No. Look, the common denominator, if you look at the math, Yankees are flourishing. I know Rizzo was also isolated out.
Hey.
Flourishing with KB in the clubhouse. No problem. Mets are falling apart. What's the common that way? If you do the math, you're like, wait, which one was of? There's one person that's been a part of the collapse twice, and that's where you can go with it. The math works. And worst case, he's bad luck. Best case, best case, he's bad luck. Worst case, he is what? Well,
he's the black cat.
He's the guy that makes sure that he gets his own and nobody else around him improves. He's not the guy that helps people with their swings in the cage.
Well, does anyone want his help? Did you see that swing, Kevin? Who wants his help?
One thing,
and hates old people. What if I told you that? No, just kidding.
I don't
even know if
old people either.
I need to get this off my chest.
I don't like dogs. No, I'm just kidding.
It has come. It is time, and I want to explain what this means.
So wait, let me tweet out that there's breaking news coming. Hold on.
Why? So we can.
Oh, he's pushing that button.
So
hold on.
Yeah. Hold on.
Southside Zoo special announcement.
Where's your button?
Special White Sox announcement.
People are gonna be pissed.
They're really mad.
Live
in all caps. Live.
Let's get the YouTube link. Everybody listen and subscribe to our YouTube page. Pretty Wheels and Every Podcast on YouTube.
We have a face for radio, so there's nothing more attractive than watching us on the live stream video.
Yep.
All right, here we go. All right, let's tweet that out.
That was a raspy.
All right.
We dug deep.
That out.
We dug deep.
All right.
Extra, read all about it.
So let's preface this. So every once in a while, and it seems like it's usually once a year.
Do like a super serious voice.
There is a player on the White Sox that upsets me a great deal. And I tweet about them a lot. And there comes a time in the season where I need to take a step back and stop tweeting about that person. Stop caring about that person. Just the person's basically dead to me. That is when I slap the hashtag done on that person. Once this hashtag has been applied to that person via my Twitter account as Southside Zoe, I no longer will tweet about that person. Good, bad, indifferent, breaking news, anything. I hope you all just saw that flash on my screen. That's how close that lightning was. That was kind of crazy. So
they're warning you about this thing that you're about to do.
Right.
There's no turning back.
I'm not rooting against him. That'd be stupid. He's a player on my favorite team. I obviously want him to succeed, but he's pissed me off to the point where I'm done. Hence, hashtag done.
So you're not yelling at him in the dugout. In fact, you're just letting him go sit down quietly into the corner.
Yep.
While he takes out his little bag, drinks a little water, maybe throws some seeds in his mouth, and you can't even look in his direction right now. You won't even make eye contact.
The player that I'm talking about is Zach Collins. It is official now. Zach Collins joins the ranks of Yolmer Sanchez. Joins the ranks of Manny Machado's cousin.
Oh, that mother.
Or brother-in-law. Brother-in-law or cousin?
Brother-in-law?
Yonder Alonso.
Yeah. Just call him brother and cousin.
Joins the ranks of Yolmer Alonso. Oh, my God. I'm all confused on these guys. Yolmer Sanchez and Yonder Alonso.
There you go.
Zach Collins, welcome to the hashtag done Hall of Fame. So, again, what this means is I'm not rooting against Zach Collins. I just will not be tweeting about Zach Collins or talking about him on this show in any fashion. I'm not going to sit here and rip on him. No more memes. No more frustrated tweets.
He gets the peace.
No more any of that. I just won't. I'm just done. I'm done. I really hope that Seby Zavala is the one they go with. And I know, Kevin, you broke down the service time manipulations and everything like that. I hope Seby is the catcher that they keep on the playoff roster. And I hope, Lord willing, they can get a kid for Zach Collins in the offseason. I don't care what type of – I mean, you're not going to get a good prospect for him. But maybe they can get a kid that turns it around once he's in the White Sox. Just something for Zach Collins.
Maybe they could trade him to the Cubs for that second baseman they just got there.
You want Cody Hoyer back?
The short guy.
Didn't he just have another scoreless inning?
Yeah, Cody Hoyer's been fucking nails.
Yeah, so I guess to answer that question, yes.
By the way, I just had someone comment under I quote tweeted your breaking news about.
Yeah.
They're just like, what?
What?
What was it? It's right here. Tune in.
All right. The tweet is official.
Oh God, it's done. It's been done. It is finished.
Yes.
It's the end of the Matrix, right?
It is finished. The tweet is official. Hold on. I'm going to put it on for our viewers so they can see it. The tweet is official. Zach Collins. #done.
Now,
Thank you for taking this. Thank you for taking this journey with me. I appreciate all your support at this time.
No further questions.
Now, are you gonna sleep on it? Because the last time you slapped the #done on someone, you went back on it a day later.
No, well, that's because I like Nicky Delmonico as a person.
You know what? I'm going to say it. This is nothing against Zach Collins. I've never met Zach Collins. You have met Zach Collins. You did not like Zach Collins since the first time you met him.
No, I just don't. It's really like, I see the charity work he does and all that stuff is very commendable. I think that's great. It's just, I'm a big vibe guy. Got a weird vibe off him. Didn't like him right from the jump.
You know what? It was the glasses.
And I'm done.
I still remember. I mean, I don't know if you want me to get into it. So it's not that bad. We didn't trash the guy, but I remember that Sox Fest that you went to, and you were interviewing some of the players, and you were sending us when you were interviewing them. That's when you met Nick Madrigal. You try to get you got a picture with Luis Robert. Not a word of English, but it was all right. So got a picture with him, and then you're like, "Here's the Zach Collins clip. It was kind of boring." Mm-hmm. And we're like, "Yeah, this was brutal."
Well, he kind of big time me in a way, because I want to say who I am when I ask somebody a question. Mm-hmm. So I was like, Matt Sawatsky. People call me Southside Zoe from the Pinwheels and Ivy podcast, and everybody else. Dylan Cease was fucking cool as shit about it. Nick Madrigal was cool as shit about it. Like, a lot of these guys were really, really cool about it, and he just kind of was like, "Oh, cool podcast." I'm
sure he just paid it that way. You said that it sounded like he had to shit, but
yeah. All right, now I tweeted out Zach Collins #done, and now people are commenting underneath it is he going to Charlotte? Is he not playing baseball anymore? Yeah.
Here we go. Let's see. We got going to Charlotte. Follow Sean Jankowski. A good follow. Sean, lower score. Janko, big Iowa guy. Another Iowa Sox fan. Joe W. Sox for real. Okay, we got Damian Collado. News.
Yeah. All right, so I just quoted.
Wait, who's the basketball player?
Basketball player is from Vegas. Actually, that Zach Collins is from Vegas.
Okay.
He was a Bishop Gorman kid, but no, not the basketball player. Everything.
So you should have just let it sit.
Answering. Let everyone just. Yeah, everyone actually. What is Zoe done?
No, I don't need. There's a group of 3 or 4 people on Twitter, and I don't know these guys' names, and I'm not gonna
I need James Fox sliding into your DMs. Be like, what happened to Zach Collins?
I'm not gonna give them.
When James Fox slides into your DMs, you've made it. I can tell you.
That's why.
I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of mentioning their accounts, but there's like 3 or 4 accounts on Twitter that no matter, I could tweet the sky is blue and people will be like, fuck you, you don't have sources. And they just jump on me about every single thing I tweet. And like, I actually, one time I was just like, well, then let's talk about it, bud. And like, I looked at the guy's profile. The guy's never tweeted an original thought once. He just retweets things. And
one follower.
Like, well, I was like, let's talk about it, buddy. What don't you like? And he's like, well, some of us, there's a group of us that'll never forget. I go, never forget? Well, won't you forget? He's like, we'll never forget who you said you wanted on the White Sox. And I was like, is there someone in particular, or what's going on, bud? I'm digging in. I'm like, does this guy just need a friend, or what are we doing here? And I was like, well, who do you think? This was right before the trade deadline. I was like, well, who do you want the White Sox to add, bud? Like, let's talk about it, friend. And he's like, relief pitcher. I was like, okay, anyone in particular? Haven't talked to him since.
You know why? You know, it's your parents' neighbor. He got on Twitter.
First of all, Henry doesn't have a computer or a phone.
You know what's the most annoying thing about when you go to someone's profile page? It's not Kevin. You mentioned the one follower thing. That doesn't even annoy me. The most annoying thing is when you go 0 tweets, but it's just like they're just reply guys.
Being dicks.
They're just reply guys. It's so fucking annoying. No original tweet, like you said, Zoe. They've never tweeted anything, but they have like thousands of replies.
Make that a warning to you, yeah, dog. Welcome to the world of being followed by a blue check mark, where random people with 1 follower with accounts created in August of 2021 only comment and post nothing but troll every single.
I will say though,
Seiko tweets.
There are days, man, where I just have the energy, and you know what I do? I'll make time and I'll fuck around and find out, and I'll just start talking and talk to you, because some of these times these guys just need a friend. They just need somebody to talk to. And
did they ever tell you what was the guy that they were mad that you wanted?
No, he never told me, and I want to know. I want to know who else is in this group. Do they have meetings like once a week? Is it catered where they just talk about like bad takes that I've had? Because I don't.
It's a Zoe support group.
Yeah,
Zoport group.
By the way,
show me on the dial where these takes touched you. Like I don't get what's going on. Like,
where did Rick Hahn hurt you? Point to the dial.
Right. I don't get it. Like, and
by the way, shout out to Alex, who kind of called Adam Frazier being overrated, because have you seen his numbers with the Padres?
Yep.
Oh, buddy. I think he's been worse than Cesar Hernandez.
I always thought that was
Dr. Zoe. There you go.
Dr. Zoe. That's a new name.
That's a new one. Add that to the
Therapist Zoe. There you go.
No longer Father Zoe. Dr. Zoe.
Well, no, they can be in for confessions though. You're there to listen to confessions.
You actually spoke at a symposium a few weeks ago with a fellow guest, Dr. Leo Marvin. You have it down. You're part of the
Dr. Leo Marvin,
part of the circuit, really, right now at this point.
But so the Frazier thing to San Diego was always a weird. It was a weird transaction for the Padres for me. When you trade for a player that you don't really have a need or a fit for. I don't know. The whole thing was weird from the go. I'm not trying to excuse it. Like, his numbers have been shit since he got out of Pittsburgh, but like, I don't know. I still feel like that was just a weird deal all around.
I'm not really. Obviously, I'm a Cubs fan, but like, you obviously like seeing what other teams do, and this past offseason, all the moves that the Padres made.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of, on the inside, I kind of hate that things are just falling apart for them, because I guarantee you this offseason, when the Cubs don't do shit, we're going to hear like the rumors like, oh, well, I mean, like, just because you go for it all the time, look at what happened to the Padres. It's like, just because one team fucks up and they have a whole bunch of injuries doesn't mean that you can't go for it.
Right.
And I feel like that's going to happen.
And also, shout out to the Padres for firing your pitching coach with like 30 days left in the season.
Cubs legend, Larry Rothschild.
That'll right the ship.
That was hilarious. It's like, it's his fault that they had the best pitching staff through June or whatever, and they've been shit for the past 2 months. Yep. Yeah, it's his fault. It's his fault that you guys signed Jake Arrieta.
Dude, I didn't even think of that. Yeah, I don't know.
The Cubs are a train wreck on that regard too. It just is. This is going to be fun. Especially with what they were talking about, where the idea that they're going to be pulling a small market Pittsburgh Pirate, which is basically go out and sign a bunch of players that if you hope they pan out, at the trade deadline, you then fire sale them again for just additional draft picks over and over again. That's what a small market team does. That's what the Pirates have done. They sign a bunch of players, minor league deals, and when they pan out, they deal them off for some additional picks. I mean, the more picks, the more chances you have. The more darts you can throw in the air, the more legs you can hit. So
that's literally what they did.
Yep.
Year one of the rebuild back in 2012. But again, not a rebuild, Kevin.
Cubs have the most expensive tickets in Major League Baseball.
My God!
Throw out. This ain't the Pirates. Sorry. I mean, you want to charge those prices?
Well, no one came.
By the way, I'm glad.
I don't want a steak dinner. I don't want a steak dinner at a place that charges me $100 and they drop a McDonald's beef patty on my plate. Like that's not okay.
Breaking news: the Orioles won a game.
Woo!
Son of a bitch.
Did you bet against them?
No, but that is the rule of betting. When a team's on a losing streak, you keep betting them until they win. Like you actually ride the streak. That's actually a good follow of mine.
Are you guys on the Ravens preseason?
Right.
See, I feel like that's too late because once you bet them, they're gonna lose.
Who, like us?
Ravens. Yeah, it's too late now because they've won like 20 preseason games in a row, and everyone's on it now.
You just keep playing it. But yeah, if the odds are bad, you take the team that keeps losing.
But speaking of the Cubs being bad and the antennas, I'm glad that people are showing up. Good, like that's what you don't have to support a shitty product.
Yep.
Don't go. Stop going. Thank you. Like that's good. Yeah, you shouldn't go. It's a shit product. It's a AAA team. Nothing against the guys playing. They didn't make these choices.
No, they're playing their asses off.
They're playing their asses. They just don't have talent. And you know what?
It's not their fault.
I'm glad the attendance just pull them.
That hurts Ricketts where he actually gives a shit. Just write in his little boner pocketbook. That's Scrooge McRicketts turd bucket.
Like look at the Bulls. The Bulls said they lived off the Jordan years for like 2 decades. What happened like a couple years ago? Fans just stopped showing up, and then bam, next off season, Garfo, you're fucking gone. John Paxson, we're throwing you in the basement. We've got a brand new team, so that's the only thing you can do.
It's a bait and switch for 2021 for the poor people that bought their tickets back in May when the team was in first place, and I'm like, this is going to be a special finish. That shit sucks. But
one thing I do want to point out as we come up here to the hour and 15 mark, Nick Castellanos said he's opting out of his deal. So Jerry Reinsdorf, I know you're listening. Castellanos, Conforto, Marte, and Schwarber, AJ Pollock, Avi Garcia, Chris Taylor, and possibly Chris Bryant are all going to be free agents.
There is no excuse for you guys not to actually get a right fielder.
Get a right fielder, dude. Come on, dude.
He's a free agent.
Can I say
he's going to be playing in China.
Because you legit just said like boner juice word for Cub fans. You said Nick Castellanos. Listen, every single one of you Cub fans going, sign Nick Castellanos. That we're also saying Chris Bryant ain't going to sign with the Cubs because Scott Boras. Guess what? Same agent, meatball. Okay, so you're dealing with. I can't deal with Chris Bryant because he's represented by Scott Boras. Oh, but hi, Nick Castellanos. Welcome to the club. No, guess what? And it's going to cost the Cubs because the Cubs are now on the shit list. Sorry.
And on top of that, for all the Cubs fans, guess what? Every fucking free agent they're going to want to sign, they're going to cost money. So no matter what, they're going to overpay for somebody.
And do you think that free agents watch the Cubs do what they just did and go, oh, yeah, I really want to be a part of that because look what those guys that just ended 108 years of futility.
And here's the thing.
How they were treated after 5 years.
Not even like saying, oh, the Cubs are going to do it. But like, yeah, like no matter what they do, even when they do like actually spend, they're going to overpay. Like John Lester, like at age, whatever he was, 30, 31, was it good to have him sign? Like, what was it, 156 million or whatever it was? Like, probably not. But hey, you have to overpay because you were in that position where you were a rebuilding team. So no matter what the situation is, you're going to have to overpay someone.
And when you're in that situation, you're going to overpay. And there's bound to be a failed overpay. Because I think Lester was fine, but I think
Lester worked out perfectly.
Jason Hayward was that failed overpay, and the Cubs are now latched into this contract. Dude, the projected salary for the Cubs in 2022 is like $47 million. Jason Hayward is due $25 million of that. It's incredible, and he has a no trade clause. He is unmovable unless he wants to go. So like the only way to get Jason Hayward off this roster and not pay him to be a 187 guy that plays pretty good defense, but yells at people when they hit, a double for yo with a green light. And so you have this guy that is just grumpy a little bit, and he's not the guy he's a good dude. He's grumpy. I'll just say that he's a good dude. He's grumpy. He's just grumpy.
Well, I mean, you're not going to be happy when you suck.
Well, that's the thing. He's grumpy. Yeah, and that's I again when he got on KB, it was.
You know what the more sad thing is, Kevin? Like, look at Jason. If Jason Hayward is just average, like Jason Hayward didn't even have to be. If Jason Hayward didn't even have to, we paid him this money. We expect you to develop into an MVP caliber player, or be a multi-year All-Star. No, like literally, the Cubs could have won a lot more.
Just be decent.
Just be
hit
average.
Your body weight. Hit your body weight.
Just oh my god, did he shit the bed?
He's
still got 2 more years.
If you're a Major League Baseball player and you're making $20 million a year, I hope you're hitting your body weight, because unless you are, a sumo wrestler, there's no excuse, because you should be hitting at least 220. Sorry, not sorry.
Something.
And his defense is great, but defense from an outfielder, it's not like a catcher. You can only have a defensive catcher that can't hit for shit. I'll take a David Ross that hits 180 that makes a guy like John Lester comfortable. You don't have a guy in the outfield that hits like a backup catcher. You can't have that. That is a roster black hole that sucks all life into it and completely changes existence. They are 100% a product right now. This Jason Hayward's contract, when we go back and we do like the autopsy in like maybe 10 years down the line, people are going to look back and they're going to know that the Jason Hayward contract might have been the single largest driving factor in why the Cubs broke up and blew it all up, or could fail to get a good bullpen when they could win it without.
Don't even take the time to they could have used that money for that. If he was just average, they would have won a lot more, because you wouldn't have been like, fuck, who are we going to put in right field? Because this guy has like a 550 OPS and he hits like 2 double plays every game. And the other thing, it's going to speaking back, going back and, reviewing what the moves were for the Cubs. This love Theo, but this was Theo had the Carl Crawford for the Red Sox.
Yeah.
This was his Carl Crawford for the Cubs.
Absolutely. And that makes it even worse is the fact that, again, you have also an owner at the same time is trying to pull up as much money out of his product as an investment as possible as well. So it actually is like the perfect storm of blowing up something that could have been much better. And Hayward, by the way, let the record show, when Theo made the move, Jason Hayward was never this bad.
Never. It's the same thing with Katana. If Katana was just being average,
right?
You got to get. I don't blame it. Just something happened. He just the downgrade was bad. They figured him out. His defense never laughed.
We were talking about bad acquisitions at the trade deadline. An acquisition that has not been bad since trade deadline. Kyle Schwarber is batting .400 with a .529 OBP since joining the Red Sox. He went 2 for 3 tonight with a pair of singles. He's playing so well that Alex Cora feels like he, quote, must get him more at-bats, and he's going to start him at first base tomorrow.
Kyle Schwarber's going to get so much money. I'm happy for him. The Cubs, I know.
For free. They let him walk for free.
For nothing. And the thing was, they were supposedly gonna change direction, but again, they just handicapped the entire team. The Cubs never planned to actually compete in 2021.
They set charges in the offseason to blow this shit up in June or July. They set the charges. It was like an episode of 24, and Kiefer Sutherland failed. It was
nobody was happier about that 11-game losing streak more than team like this. So thank God, I can just trade everyone now, and some of the fans are gonna be like, oh well, they suck anyway.
It was like, here we go. Cubs just threw a no-hitter on the road at the Dodgers, the defending world champions, and button. Beep. And
some of these former Cubs are going to get paid. Kyle Schwarber is going to end up with close to 35 home runs maybe this year if he stays healthy through September.
With action too.
Obviously Chris Bryant's killing it with the Giants. He was killing it with the Cubs. Riz has been bad, but he's winning, so it looks like he's going to have the postseason to at least show out. Baez been bad. He's going to get lucky to get anything decent.
Could you imagine Schwarber, though, if he can field first base decently and could be the first baseman for the Boston Red Sox with that short porch in right field?
Oh my God!
If he could, dude, he can. It could be like a whole second career for him.
Poppy 2.0.
Yeah,
I mean, David Ortiz wasn't as good early in his career, but yeah.
If Babe Ruth never got traded by the Red Sox,
people forgot that David Ortiz was on the Twins.
Yeah, David Ortiz was on the Twins is bad.
He was very bad.
Very
He was not good at all. Like he wasn't Big Papi until
years
later on the Red Sox. And this could be what's happening to Schwarber. And you know what? He seems like a good guy too. Like I hope it happens for him. But
Schwarber was in that KB Rizzo camp, like that side of the camp too. So like that's another thing that happened in this Cubs post, the offseason last year was the people that were taken out of the clubhouse were mostly like the KB Rizzo, faction. There's always a faction in the clubhouse. That crew, which is the crew that really isn't like a party crew, it's just a bunch of nerds basically. That was it. Like Schwarber's a nerd, man.
Rizzo likes to go out.
Yeah, Schwarber is kind of a nerd.
Schwarber likes to go out and drink.
He goes to karaoke.
Schwarber drinks, dude.
Yeah, Schwarber likes to go out.
I'm not saying in that sense. I'm saying like the nerd stuff, though. I bet you Schwarber would love to go to a karaoke jam.
Well, I mean, Kyle Schwarber was in. I think he was in.
He was in choir.
He was in choir. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
That's true. That's true.
These guys would go to like they're not going to the club. And so when you have the groups that go to like the whatever your activities are outside of the clubhouse, those guys all stick together and they become like a little bit more knit. And Schwarber was with that dork crowd, which I'll call it's a dork crowd. Now, it doesn't mean they don't drink. It just means like they drink it like dork. Like Rizzo would probably be happy going like, I'll go bowl a little bit. Like I bet you he bowls. I bet she's a good bowler. Or again, Schwarber, I guarantee you.
Seriously, as we're talking about this,
yep,
Schwarber just hit a game-tying home run, dead center field in the ninth.
The great Schwarbino.
I mean, no, Schwarber. We talked about it in the offseason. Kevin, we weren't opposed to Schwarber leaving. You were saying how it was a fluke at the end of 2019. Yeah. But Schwarber's always been a guy who's. What you're getting. He's not a high average guy, but it's fine because he's going to hit 40 home runs. He's going to walk a decent amount, and you're going to take the good with the bad.
My biggest thing with him was not trading him at high value.
Right.
That was it. Like I love the dude. Like I'm a huge fan of his.
For all these guys, like, hey, 40 home runs doesn't just grow on trees. Like that's not.
You know who he hit it off of too?
Who are they playing?
The Twins.
Column A?
Column A? NW.
Column B.
Sorry, Ken.
All right, folks.
Shout out.
All right, I got to go. Let's put a bow on this.
This weekend, so we got the Cubs White Sox series again. So Chug Bet's back on. Zoe doesn't want to do a dolphin tattoo on the bottom of our lower back, so we're good there. Tattoo bets this is the place where they come. I'm gonna get Aloha on the Taylor Glove. I'm gonna get Aloha to do
the Sox win one game. If the Sox win one game, Aldo has to follow. Yeah, dog.
That's true. We got that going.
5 or 6.
Yep, 5 or 6. So he's got
5 or 6. 5 or 6.
Yep. Got to be 2 or 3 again.
I mean, it's pretty easy though.
I mean, yeah,
they should win 2 games
unless Schwinger gets going and just owns the series. Yeah,
Cody Boyer locks down your ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then the guy that has like no name on his jersey's coming for you.
By the way, we're going to be on the 108 podcast Thursday night. Tune in.
What you're not supposed to say?
All right, it's fine. We only have like.
Use your words, Kevin.
Why aren't we allowed to say?
I don't know. I'm not there. Tune into the 108.
Why are we not allowed to say?
Tune into the 108 podcast tomorrow night.
Yes, tune in. 2 guests are going to join.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for Kevin, Aldo, I'm Zoe. We'll see you guys next week.